Hey everyone, it's me, Leanne. I've been not away from the computer, but I haven't done much video blogging in a while. I guess I just felt like I haven't, I've answered a lot of questions in the past, and sometimes it's like repetitive and you're covering the same things over and over again. But I have my list. You guys asked me a bunch of questions and I went through them this morning, and so I'm gonna see what I can do for you guys and answer some of your questions. For the newer people, I have over 6,000 followers now, so I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a background with me. 3 years ago I started my weight loss journey. I joined Weight Watchers. I started it was April 2010, and my starting weight was 292.8 pounds. Since then, I've lost between 135 to 140 pounds is where I've been maintaining for the last year. I don't go to a gym. I walk, I run, I do workout videos at home, and that's really been my whole process. That's pretty much all I've done throughout this whole journey. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I'm a wife. My husband works away 5 to 6 weeks at a time, and then he comes home for a little bit and goes back to work. So I have to be here for my son, and that's being a stay-at-home mom, and on this whole weight loss journey, it's kind of been a good thing because I've learned a lot about myself. So that's just the gist of a little bit of background on me. So I'm just going to get right to the questions here. I know you guys have been wanting new recipes. It's hard, especially with Christmas, and I've been busy. Family have come home, and I've just been kind of cooking the same old things. I haven't really tried anything new lately, but I will try now with the new year in and things. My husband's gone back to work now, so things have kind of settled back down and into a routine a little bit more. I'm going to try and try some new recipes and get those out there for you. I've recently started a new job. It's only part-time, and I've been just doing the training, but it kind of takes up a little bit of extra of my time as well, and but I'm really loving that. So with that, and my whole life has just, since December came in, has just been kind of blurry, and everything's been kind of fast-paced. So I will try and get up some recipes for you within the next little while, I hope. So that covers the recipe section for you guys. Somebody also asked about a mindset, and I find it's so important to wake up every morning and think about your goals and what you want to achieve that day. Every morning I wake up, I think about where my day is going to go, from what I'm going to do to work out, what I'm going to eat for breakfast. Actually, I start the night before and I pre-track my food. So that kind of helps me plan a little bit and prepare myself. And if you haven't noticed, I'm a pretty positive thinker. I think that is so important. I really constantly look for inspiration from people, whether it's somebody just starting their journey, whether it's somebody who's been on this journey for a long time, or somebody who's even not on a weight loss journey but on some other kind of journey to fulfill their life. And I think that is just so important, to keep a healthy mindset and to know that you're worth it, to know that anything that you set out in life to do, it's very important to keep a healthy mindset. So positive thinking has been such a huge part of my life the last 3 years, and I'm not used to that. I always considered myself a happy person, but positive, probably not so much. So I really have changed that way of thinking. Eating out of boredom. A lot of people, myself included, eat out of boredom. We eat because we think we're hungry when really we're not. We eat because we watch TV at night. Some eat. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I was always around food now. Different kinds of snacks, not stuff that I would choose to eat. Packing school lunches and stuff like that. So, you really got to think about the food that's going into your mouth. We always associate food with movies, and with gatherings, like on a Friday night, and that stuff is okay. Just make sure you have the right kind of foods there that's going to help you instead of hinder you. So if people are coming to your house, and I guess that wouldn't really be eating out of boredom, but if people are coming to your house or you have a movie night planned, maybe plan it so that you have some of your snacks available. I know I like pop chips, or the Weight Watchers products that I'll buy, or it doesn't have to be Weight Watchers products. It could be any kind of Skinny Cow bars, or anything that's going to keep you satisfied and not feel like you're deprived, as well. But back to the boredom, maybe if you can try developing a hobby, take up, I don't know, knitting or crocheting, or something to keep your fingers busy, or maybe read. And like I said, really think about, are you hungry? Maybe you're thirsty. A lot of the times we could be just thirsty and it comes across as hunger. I like to drink a cup of tea at night. That kind of, when I know that I've had my points for the day, whether I'm over by 2 or whether I'm just at my daily points target. If sometimes you just have that wanting, I find a cup of hot tea really helps me get through the rest of the night. And make sure you're getting enough sleep. Maybe 10:30 comes and you're hungry. Maybe it's time to go to bed. If you truly had your calories or your points for the day, maybe it's just sleep that you need. So sometimes we just have to reevaluate and see where we are at. Prepping and planning my food. I love to do this, and I don't do it enough. But some people take a day out of their week, sit down, whether it be Sunday, Monday, whatever day is best for you, write out a meal plan for that week. Some people do it for the month. I've never been that successful. I have done it for the week, though. Make a grocery list. Go through your cupboards, go through your fridge, see what you have, see what you need, and then go to the store and pick it up. This is going to save you money. It's going to save you time, and it's going to save you more decision making. The guesswork is taken out of it. You know what you're going to have for supper. You know what you're going to have on Thursday. You know what you're going to have on a Saturday. I loved it when I meal plan for the week. I find it harder when my husband's home because we're on the go more. But when it's just myself and my son, I find it a lot easier. So that's the great thing about meal planning, and it also helps you stay on track. Lots of the times when I go to the grocery store and I come home, I'll use Costco as an example because things come in bulk or whatever. We will buy pork and chicken and fish, and of course everything in Costco is huge. So I will then take my meat and I will measure it or weigh it, and I will portion it out in meals. As soon as I get home, I'll do that with the fish. I'll do it with every bit of poultry and meats that I get. My fruit and vegetables will get cut and cleaned and placed in trays and placed in my fridge. And that saves us a lot of time. Everybody then tends to make better snack choices in my family. My son will go for the strawberries or the grapes. My husband's the same thing, and myself included. I have a big fruit tray there. I have a big vegetable tray, and I tend to keep my trays so that then I can just reuse them. instead of constantly buying, the more expensive, already cut up fruit and vegetables. So that it takes a little extra work, but, in the long run, it really pays off for me and myself and the rest of my family. So that's what I do for my prep and planning. On to cravings. I get questions about this a lot, and my thing is with cravings is there something behind the craving? Is it a mental thing? Does it last for very long? Is it something that comes across and 5 minutes is gone? I think it's important to drink water when you get a craving at first, and see if the craving goes away. Wait 15 minutes or so. Maybe you can make a low point version or a low calorie version of something that you're craving, whether it be pizza or even Chinese food. I've made low point, well, not really low point, but lower point Chinese food for myself and really satisfied the craving. Sometimes you can just go for a walk, do a quick workout, and you kind of forget about that craving. But when all else fails, I will have whatever it is I'm craving. If it doesn't go away, if a walk doesn't fix it, sometimes you just have to have that piece of chocolate or that takeout pizza. That is okay. Like, nobody has ever told me that I'm not allowed. And I will, I have to promise myself that I'm going to keep it under control. That's so very important. Is, if you're going to sit down and eat a whole large pizza, then maybe you should kind of stay away from it and fight the craving, maybe. That's what I would do if it were me. But, if it's just to have a piece of chocolate, then sometimes you're better off just having that piece of chocolate. Because if not, you could end up binging on something else and consuming much more than what you wish you had done. And you were probably just better off having whatever it was that you craved. Okay, we're getting up there. It's been 12 minutes already. Also, dealing with people around you eating junk. You know what? That's inevitable. People around you are going to make bad choices. People are going to have their chips and their chocolate, their pop. That's part of life. I don't think that's their own choice. I myself make sure I have everything on hand that I need. If I'm going somewhere and I know someone is going to be having that kind of stuff, maybe throw a couple snacks in your purse. Eat before you go. Have water on hand. It really is a learned process. Saying no and continuing to say no. Eventually people give up and they won't ask you anymore. And really, they don't really care if you say no. A lot of it is just the way we think that people are, receiving what we're saying. But yes, it is hard, and it's hard to, you think that you may want these things, but when you go and you say no, and at the end of the night, you have that accomplishment of feeling in control, and, that feeling you take with you for the rest of your journey. Like, no one's going to take that away from you, that feeling of being in control. And I love that feeling. I don't always get it, because sometimes I do give in, but the times that I don't, I feel really, really good. And that I try to remind myself of that later on in life. It do get easier. Like I said, it do get easier. People will just ask you once, and you say no, thank you, and that's it. They'll get used to it. Don't worry about them. But I know it's hard for yourself sometimes, and having to say no when you think you want it. Putting excitement back into this. And I like this question because it's so true. And me being on Weight Watchers, the last 3 years, they always come up with something new every year. And that's really kept me going. And I think that that's the point of Weight Watchers, is to keep you excited. And I love that. Whether it be a small change or a big change, whether you find a group of girls or guys and you go to a fitness class, keep it exciting. I know me and my friend right now are getting ready, and we're going to be doing a couple races come the spring, and that's got us super motivated and excited. Also, I think it's important that you're on a plan that you don't find to be restrictive. And like, Weight Watchers for me works great because they never ever told me I couldn't have anything. So that in itself keeps it exciting because I can still have whatever I want, you know, in moderation, and don't have to eat all the same food all the time. You know, I can change up my flavors. I can really have whatever I want, and that keeps things exciting for me because I'm such a foodie. Also, I love to research health and fitness things. I do a lot of things online and look for different strategies to keep things new exercise videos on YouTube, all those kinds of things. And remember, it's not a punishment. This is a lifestyle change. Don't start something that you're not going to be able to finish. Or, no, I shouldn't even say finish, that you can't continue. Because this ultimately should be a lifestyle, and it's not just something that's going to go away after a few months. Like, this is forever. So don't look at it as a chore or a punishment. Oh my goodness, I'm running out of time. How do you know when you're eating healthy? Healthy is so broad. To me, healthy is different for everybody. Healthy for some is no processed foods, eating, you know, a plant-based diet. Some people think vegan is healthy. Healthy to some may be just cutting out junk food. So for me, I think healthy is, I eat some processed foods, and I do eat out sometimes, but all in all, I feel that I eat fairly healthy. So I don't like to say, you know, your diet is healthy or not healthy, as I don't want you to tell me my diet is not healthy or is healthy. To me, healthy is different than anybody. I suggest reading your labels. Go for lower fat foods, lower sodium foods. You don't want to eat foods that are high in sugar and high in carbohydrates. Look for whole grains, things like that. And do some research. Don't be afraid to Google things. Look and read and get to know your food. And of course, fresh is best. Not necessarily best. Frozen is good as well. But things that don't have a lot of ingredients are going to be healthier. So yeah, just read your labels and get to know the foods that you're eating. I was asked about strength training. I don't have a routine as such. I do videos at home, like the 30-day shred. I use resistant bands. Crunches, planks, sit-ups, or crunches, planks, sit-ups, hand weights. I don't, it's always changing for me. Squats, lunges, I just do what I feel I'm in the mood to do at that time. Eating at night, I do not have a problem with. I often eat at 8 o'clock. I always have, and I think I always will. I make sure I save at least 3 points for my nighttime snack, so that because I know that I'm going to want something after I eat my dinner at night. It's not about the time you eat. It's about what you eat. So I don't believe in starving. Hunger is okay, but I don't believe in starving. I've never gone to bed like literally starving. So that's my thing. It's all about what you choose to eat, not about what time you eat it. And I've researched that online, and I've looked it up, and some people say 3 hours. And that's fine. Like, by the time, that's probably about when I give up eating. If I eat at 8, I don't go to bed till about 10:30, 11 o'clock. So it is about 3 hours. You definitely don't want to go to bed after eating a huge meal. It's not going to feel very good. But, just, like I said, do some research and see what you feel it would work for you the best. Some people don't eat after 6. It's all personal opinions. And I just want to touch base about loose skin. I've gotten so many questions about loose skin this past week. Yes, I have it. I'm okay with it. I've lost 140 pounds. It's kind of not going to go away unless I surgically remove it. It's not that bad. I'm comfortable with it. I would much rather have the loose skin than be overweight 140 pounds. I know the slower you lose it, the better. Genes play a big role in how much loose skin one gets when losing weight. How much exercise you do and what kinds of exercises you do, that they all play a role as well. So it depends. Age probably may play a part in it, as probably plays a part as well. So that's it for the questions. It's a 20-minute video, and I'm sorry it's so long, but when you get a lot of questions, it kind of takes that time to go through it. So I hope you all have a great week, and if you have any more questions, just write them to me, and hopefully I'll get back to you. I try to answer them all, but it's hard sometimes as I get a lot. Alright, anyways, everybody have a great week, and we'll talk soon. Bye.